Welcome to Instant Replay, presented by Cheez-It. I'm Andrew Wiebe. This is Bobby Warshaw, and there's only one place to start here, Bobby.
Colorado, and off we go.
No, that's a double red card, Bobby. Of course we're starting at Mercedes-Benz
I told you I'm not
Stadium.
doing these.
Soren Stoica is the ref in this one, and Kevin Terry Jr. is the VAR. We start in the 18th minute with a contentious penalty kick. Joseph Martinez is in 1v1, but here comes Austin Trusty, the Union's young defender. There's contact here, Bobby. Is it a PK?
Now, Andrew, if we zoom in just prior to the tackle, we can see that the ball is rolling perfectly. After Austin Trusty puts his foot in, the ball takes a little hop. That tells me that Trusty got a touch of the ball before he got Martinez, and because he got the ball first, it shouldn't have been a foul.
Now, you also see he does get contact on Joseph Martinez's ankle, and that's what initiates the penalty kick call. But I'm with you. I think this should have been play on. Austin Trusty wins the ball. The contact on Joseph, I think, is pretty negligible. I think this should not have been a penalty kick. But once Stoica calls it, I don't think there's enough for a review here. I don't think it's clear and obvious, but the Union don't agree. All hell breaks loose.
Yeah, Philly was not happy about the penalty call, and they were even more upset about what came after.
That'd be 2 red cards. Now we got to rewind a little bit for some context here. Alejandro Bedoya got a yellow card in the 11th minute, and it was the right call. So he comes into this situation on a yellow, then he moves into the arc at the top of the box while Joseph Martinez is preparing for the penalty kick. Stoica turns around, gives him a yellow card, and then his marching orders. 2 yellows equals red. We all know that, but when I watch this, I wonder what it was for. You see Bedoya creeping into the arc. So was it for delaying a restart, as he said after the game? Or was it for dissent, which is what the match report says, and Pro confirmed it's a he said situation?
Now, Andrew, this distinction is important because if it was for dissent, it's hard to argue. If you say something that's worthy of being sent off, then you get sent off. But if it was for delaying the restart, I think we can agree that a referee should have managed that situation differently. You should not be getting a second yellow just for standing in the box and delaying a penalty. This happens all over the world. Bedoya wasn't taunting Martinez. He wasn't in his face. He was simply standing there and trying to make Martinez wait.
By the rules, that could still be a yellow, so I'm not sure what Bedoya is complaining about. Either way, that's moot. The referees say that this was for dissent, and it's hard for us to really judge off that.
And that takes us to the second red card that occurs. Harris Medunjanin is upset to see Bedoya get the red, and Medunjanin lets Stoica know it. He screams at him, he gets in the face, there's even a little chest bump. Stoica gives 1 yellow. Medunjanin doesn't stop, though. He comes back, he gets in Stoica's face again, and it causes the referee to give a second yellow and send Medunjanin off.
I can't argue with this one. Medunjanin loses his mind. This is unacceptable on a professional field. You can't treat the referee this way. 2 yellows, red card, see ya.
Now, Andrew, I always felt as a player that it should be a high threshold on what a referee is willing to take. If it's just yelling, there shouldn't be a red card for that. But if it gets abusive, if it gets explicit, if it's something that you would give the player a red card for saying to another player, that's worthy of it.
Now, we don't know what Medunjanin said, but Stoica does, and he deemed it worthy of 2 yellow cards for dissent and then the red card. Sent off. What do you think? Let us know.
Andrew, all this chaos, let's end our trip to Atlanta on a positive note. If we go to the 81st minute, Julian Gressel hit a cross that hit a Philadelphia player's arm. It wasn't seen in the moment, but VAR, Kevin Terry Jr., noticed it, told Stoica, and it came back, and they gave the penalty. It's the proper use of video review. Well done.
A note, it was the only video review over the entire weekend. Let's go to Portland Galaxy for a big penalty kick call in the 56th minute. Andres Flores is steaming into the box, and here comes Galaxy defender Jorgen Skjelvik, and he takes down the Timbers player. Bobby, that's a penalty kick to me. Shoulder into the chest. I don't think Skjelvik plays the ball. I think he plays the man. He was going to get beat, and he took the player down.
Now, Andrew, I have the defender bias on this, and I'm going to take the defender side. I think Skjelvik timed it well. I think he steps in front of Flores at just the right moment to make control of the ball his, and then Flores just runs into him.
Those defender glasses must be like Coke bottles because you can't see jack.
That's fair. I'm willing to acknowledge my bias, but for me, I wouldn't have called the penalty.
Agree to disagree. Let's go to Colorado. It's Friday night. Baltimore Toledo is the referee as the Whitecaps visit the Rapids. And this goal from Egercio is a banger, but it probably shouldn't have counted. Johan Blomberg handles the ball. Look closely, slow it down. The ball changes trajectory, comes down, he sets up the shot. I think this should have been called back.
First of all, I just want to say you're a bad person for trying to take away their lone goal when they lost. But you're probably right. It should have been called back. The referees missed this one. Andrew, let's go to Columbus.
Now we got a couple more PK shouts. Ref is Nima Sagafi. VAR is Rosendo Mendoza. We start in the 16th minute. Scoreless game here, and Artur takes down Ryan Telfer. At least that's what it looks like to me.
There's not a great camera angle to know that Artur actually made contact with Telfer. When I watch it, Andrew, I wonder with the way Telfer drags his leg if he dove.
Yeah, it's possible. You see the way his arms move afterwards. There is a little bit of embellishment, but I think there is contact. It's hard to see here, but yeah, slow it down, pause it right there. I think that's where Artur gets him, so I think it's a good call from Sagafi and VAR Mendoza. Now, let's go to the 90th minute. It's 3-2 Toronto. They're trying to hold on to the win here on the road, and Michael Bradley makes a mistake. He catches Giassi Zardes. This one's got to be a PK, right?
Now, this is a huge moment, right? Because now Pipa's stepping up to tie the game, and yes, Andrew, I'm with you. If we pause it right here, we can see that Bradley makes contact with the back of Zardes' leg and causes Zardes to go down. A good call by Nima Sagafi.
To Gillette Stadium we go. Revs, Red Bulls. Jose Carlos Rivero is the referee in this one. Guido Gonzalez is the VAR, and we're looking at a play in the 63rd minute. It is 1-1, and Christian Nemeth wants a PK right here. He whiffs. Like, let's just put that out there. He misses, but Kamar Lawrence misses as well and comes through and gets the leg.
It sounds like you're telling me it matters that he misses, even though he clearly got fouled.
Yes, there is contact, but Nemeth has already lost the ball. Bezecourt's got it. It's a little bit careless from Kamar Lawrence, but you know what? I just don't think he should be punished for Nemeth whiffing.
You've been playing too many arcade video games, Weeby. Just because he whiffs the ball doesn't mean you can come in and slide tackle him. For me, that should have been a penalty.
Agree to disagree on that one. To Montreal we go. Robert Sabiga is the referee. Jeff Gamble is the VAR as the Dynamo visit the Impact. We're in the 85th minute here, and Nacho Piatti goes down. Leonardo's pulling on his jersey. Play on is the call, but I think Piatti got punished for not going down.
Now, Andrew, this should be near and dear to the heart of all soccer fans because a lot of players would have felt that contact and gone over, and we always get mad at players for diving. Piatti doesn't fall, he doesn't dive. He feels the contact and tries to stay up, yet Sabiga doesn't make the call when he should have.
It's clear as day. He's being pulled by the jersey. I think it's a penalty kick. Props to Piatti for not going down, but I also understand why the referees waved play on. To Sandy, Utah we go. RSL hosting the Seattle Sounders, and we look at a play in the 57th minute of a scoreless game. It would be 1-0 thanks to Corey Baird's header, but look a little bit earlier in the play. Was Acosta offside?
Andrew, this freeze frame shows why it's so hard to be assistant referee, and for me, AR1 Brian Poschel got it right. It looks like Danny Acosta is even with the defender. I think you and I agree that if it's not perfectly obvious for the AR, we want him to keep his flag down.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you, and we went back and took a closer look. We tried to replicate the angle off the top of the 18-yard box to see whether he was indeed ahead of the ball. It's almost impossible to tell, and that's why VAR Alex Chilwitz can be given props as well for not initiating a review of this play. Top to bottom, I think they got this one right.
Andrew, does it feel like it was a good weekend for the referees?
It was a good weekend for the referees. Congrats, guys. All right, that's it for us. Big thanks to Cheez-Its. As always, if you see something, say something.
Use the hashtag. We listen, guys. We want to hear what you have to say.
That's Instant Replay. We'll see you next week.